Have you ever felt like you were only an option, just a placeholder, until something better came along? It's one of the most painful feelings in life. Giving your heart, your time, your energy to someone, only to realize you were never their first choice. This is my story. She used me until she found someone better. But this isn't just about pain. It's about truth, growth, and healing. Because through this experience, I learned some powerful lessons about love, self-respect, and knowing your worth. And maybe, if you've ever been through something like this, or if you're going through it right now, my story will remind you that you are not alone. And that sometimes, the ending we don't want is actually the beginning we truly need. You know, every story has a beginning, and mine started like something straight out of a movie. I still remember the first time I met her. It wasn't anything planned. It wasn't anything dramatic. It was just an ordinary day that suddenly turned into one of the most unforgettable moments of my life. She walked into the room, and it felt like the entire energy shifted. You know that feeling when someone just stands out? Not because of looks alone, but because of the way they carry themselves. That was her. She had this confidence, this smile that felt so genuine, like she saw right through me. And in that moment, I thought, wow, this girl is different. At first, it was just small talk. A laugh here, a joke there. But it was the way she listened that drew me in. She wasn't just waiting for her turn to speak. She looked at me like my words mattered, like I mattered. And for someone like me, who had always been cautious with my feelings, that was rare. She gave me attention I didn't even know I was craving. Late night texts, random good morning messages, calls that lasted until we both fell asleep. It was like she had stepped into my life and made a home in my heart overnight. And you know what's dangerous about that? When someone makes you feel like you're finally seen, you don't question their intentions. You just trust it. You want to believe it's real. Every time she smiled at me, every time she laughed at my stupid jokes, every time she said, "I'm so lucky to have you," it pulled me deeper in. I started imagining a future. I started believing this was it, that maybe, just maybe, I had found the one person who wouldn't hurt me. But here's the truth that I didn't realize back then. Not every smile is real. Not every word is meant. And sometimes, people only give you love until something better comes along. And that is where my story really begins. At first, everything felt perfect. But slowly, things began to shift. It started with the little things, things I tried to ignore. The replies that used to come instantly started taking hours, sometimes even days. When I'd ask if everything was okay, she'd brush it off with excuses like, "I was busy," or "I didn't see your message." But deep down, I knew. I knew the energy wasn't the same anymore. The sweet conversations that once lasted all night turned into short, cold replies. The excitement in her voice disappeared, replaced by disinterest. When we met, she seemed distracted, almost like she was somewhere else, thinking of someone else. I told myself I was overthinking. I convinced myself that maybe she was just stressed or tired. I held on to the memory of who she used to be with me, praying that the girl I fell for would come back. But the truth? She was slipping away, and I could feel it. The more she pulled back, the harder I tried. I gave more love, more effort, hoping it would bring her closer. Instead, it only pushed her further. And yet, I refused to let go, because I thought love was about fighting for someone, even when they stopped fighting for you. That's when I realized, sometimes love blinds us. Sometimes we mistake someone's change of heart for a temporary phase. But it wasn't a phase. It was the beginning of the end. I'll never forget the moment the truth finally hit me. For weeks, something inside me already knew. The distance, the excuses, the way her energy completely shifted, it was all leading somewhere. But still, I kept giving myself hope. I kept telling myself, maybe she's just busy. Maybe she's going through something. Maybe I'm overthinking. But deep down, I wasn't wrong. The first real confirmation came in the little things. She stopped calling me her person. The good morning texts became just GM. Sometimes not even that. Her replies went from long paragraphs to one-word answers. And then the final crack, she stopped looking at me the way she used to. That sparkle, that softness in her voice when she said my name, it was gone. And then I saw it, scrolling through social media. There it was, a picture, a caption, a story she didn't even try to hide. Her smile, the way she looked at him, it was the same way she used to look at me. My chest sank. My hands went numb. For a moment I couldn't breathe. It wasn't just jealousy. It was the brutal confirmation that I was never her forever. I was just the bridge she walked on until she reached the person she truly wanted. And when I confronted her, she didn't even deny it. She just said, I didn't mean to hurt you, but I found someone who understands me better. Do you know what that feels like? Hearing that you weren't enough? That all your love, your time, your energy was just a placeholder until someone better showed up. That was the moment I realized I wasn't her choice. I was her convenience. And that truth shattered me. Pain changes people. At first, it broke me. I questioned myself, my worth, and wondered what I lacked. But slowly, I realized it wasn't me. It was never about me. It was about her choices. The truth is, love is not about being someone's backup plan. It's not about being good enough until something better arrives. Real love doesn't make you feel replaceable. I learned to let go, to stop begging for someone's attention, and instead value my own. Because when you truly know your worth, you'll never allow yourself to be treated like an option again. Remember this, if someone only wants you until something better comes along, let them go. You are worth more. You deserve love that stays, love that chooses you every single day. Healing takes time, but it's also freedom. And sometimes, losing someone is the first step to finding yourself. Thank you for staying with me through this story. If you've ever felt used in a relationship, I want you to know you're not alone. Share your story in the comments, because your voice matters, and someone out there might need to hear it too. She used me until she found someone better. But in the end, I found myself, and that's the best love I could ever win.